You're listening to Marketing Impressions, brought to you by M. Roberts Digital. We are data-driven marketing experts who develop, deliver, and optimize business growth campaigns. In this podcast, you can expect to expand your knowledge in the big wide world of marketing and hear real-life marketing examples. I'm your host, Jordan Sherrod, and I'm thrilled to make marketing matter for you today. Hey, welcome to Marketing Impressions. That's Impressions with an M because we are M. Roberts Digital. And today, guys, we are so excited to welcome you to our first podcast. Today, we're going to talk about just the principles of marketing. This is kind of the intro to the rest of our podcast, and we're excited to have you along. So, marketing is primarily about storytelling. Our goal as marketers is to make our client's audience the hero of the story. We want to ask our clients, how does the product or service you offer help your customers slay the dragon and become the hero, right? And so marketing it's not just about running ads or being seen everywhere. It's also about developing relationships and making connections. And there's a real sense of meaning in this line of work. We get to help our clients' businesses succeed. And when we do that, we're boosting our local economy. We're helping their families provide a living. It's a real, it's a real energizing form of work. And so I'm excited to introduce you guys to our first guest on the podcast. So who are you?
Crystal Lindsay. What's up, everyone? I am the proud digital marketing manager of Dallas for M. Roberts Digital, and I am super passionate about storytelling branding and the power of telling a story. One of the statistics I want to kick us off with is that people only remember 10% of a written fact-based article, but people remember over 80% of a story. So telling your story as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, the story then becomes, or the job becomes, how do I then tell my value proposition, my services in a story that people can remember.
Yeah, I love that. So, we just asked who Crystal is, and that gets me thinking, not only is that an important question for people, but it's also an important question for businesses. As marketers, our job is to understand the ins and outs of who a business is, of who they are, and then we're able to accurately communicate what the business can provide, how they can support their clients. And every person has a unique face, accent, flavor, attitude, color, and a business has the same thing. And so as we communicate on behalf of a business, we've got to truly impersonate them as marketers. We've got to accurately reflect their face to the world, and the same with you as business owners and marketers as well. And if you speak a different accent, than who you truly are, people kind of look at you funny. They can sense when you're not really being you. They're not really being who you are.
And people are craving real, authentic content. Like nobody wants to be sold to. Even salesmen don't like being sold to, And so especially on social media, no matter where you are, but it's supposed to be social. It's supposed to be something where you connect, right? And so having that disconnect you're talking about, that different accent, makes people feel like they're being sold to, that you're somehow being inauthentic, and breaks down that trust. So it's important for, down to the subconscious. You're telling somebody, you can trust me. I have the same message. This is the same person. This is the company you're talking to. And then that also goes to say, people want to do business with people. They don't want to do businesses with brands. They want you to humanize your business and showcase that part of your story as well.
Yeah, you want to create a business that people can get to know. Because as humans, we're hardwired for relationships. And so as we create businesses and companies that people can get to know, the more that people want to do business with us. So Crystal, tell us, in your experience, how important is it to stick to a consistent marketing message and tone, and to be authentic in what you're doing?
Yeah, it's everything, right? The first thing I do with any client I don't care if you're a CrossFit gym or a university, if you're a mortgage broker or a mechanic. At the end of the day, you need to know what's driving 80% of your business, and you need to know the ideal client who's going to be able to purchase that service. And this is where most businesses fall flat, is they want to be everything to everybody. They don't want to, they don't want these people to quit doing business because they specialize in these people.
Right.
And this is what I hear every day. But so my journey with any customer is to be able to start that journey of saying, but let's get crystal clear on who is your ideal client and what do they actually care about? Because the first thing you have to do in telling that story is be able to stop talking about what other people stop talking about what you want them to care about, and talk about what it is they already care about in the words they would use. So that's where we really start. I mean, it's really the foundation of having any successful campaign. It's the difference of having a mediocre campaign and a top performing campaign, is having that voice, that message, that sound clear voice that's in line with what the client actually cares about, who's actually buying your top product.
That's good. Yeah, and speaking of voice, there's this fantastic book. A lot of you may have heard of it. It's called Building a Story Brand. It's by Donald Miller. It's an incredible read for any business owner and marketer. It's fantastic. But he says the essence of branding is to create a simple, relevant message that we can repeat over and over so that we brand ourselves into the public consciousness. So let's dive into that a little bit. We're going to talk about, again, your brand, who you are as a business, and how you relay that to the world. And so every company has a story to tell, whether it's a service or a product, and each company can tell their story in a similar format. So one of Donald Miller's things that he paints in storytelling and saying, this is the kind of the format that every company can have. He says this: a character, who's the client, has a problem, and then meets a guide, who's your business, who gives them a plan and calls them to action that helps them avoid failure and end in success.
And can I chime in on that real quick? I actually have hand signals.
Yeah.
Speaking of stories,
yes, let's
visuals,
do it.
80% of the population are visual.
Hey, hop on YouTube if you're on Spotify.
Yeah, if you're
right
only
now
listening,
wherever.
you're going to want to see this.
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to say is when you jump into it, you really want to wring it out the saga.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you tell a story, you want to get into it. You want to say all the problems this client had before they met you and really squeeze out the problems. Then you want to make it as easy as 1, 2, 3 on how you as the business owner helped make that person the hero in their life, right?
Yeah.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. So ring it out, make it as easy as 1, 2, 3, and then show the ripple effect of how that person's life and community and world is better because they used your services.
Yeah.
Not to make you the hero,
Right.
but to show how you made it as easy as 1, 2, 3 for them to become the hero. So ring it out, easy as 1, 2, 3, and then show that ripple effect of how your life got better.
I love it. That's awesome. And so when we start to see our company, our business as the guide for clients, and we see the clients as the hero, not ourselves as the hero, our motivation changes, right? The way that we go about marketing and presenting ourselves, it no longer becomes about how just awesome we are, as how awesome your business is, but on what the company can do for the clients so that they can help achieve their goals.
And even more specifically, what has your company already done?
Yes, yeah.
For somebody just like you is the messaging and the marketing, right? We've helped people just like you who are struggling with this and need that.
Yeah.
For example, I worked with a client who was struggling with these things. I made it as easy as 1, 2, 3, and now they're living this incredible life.
Yeah.
So it's really exactly what you just said, is telling that story on how you've made it as easy as 1, 2, 3 in the past.
So why is it important, Crystal, to focus on our clients' needs? Why is that an important thing to focus on?
Because the client's the one who buys.
Okay,
you know? So, and it's kind of messy because we're an agency. So our clients, we're talking about their clients.
Yeah, our
so to kind of
clients.
delineate, what we're saying is any marketing has to end or has to begin and stay in the voice of the person who's actually going to pull the trigger and buy, right? So if you are a mechanic and you're hiring us as an agency to do your marketing, then we're going to always consider who's your ideal client, what are their needs and their challenges, what are the objections they have, what are the questions they have, what are the exact words and terminology you hear on a regular basis from your most profitable client, might I add. and then take those, and those are the exact words we're going to put in the ads. Those are the exact words we're going to put in the social posts. Those are the exact ads or exact words that go into the blog, right? And so, and then by that, what happens, I don't know if you know the brain science, I'm sure you do, is there's actually something called a reticular activating system, the RAS, and it's a real thing if you're into neuroscience like me, and it actually is the part of your brain that keeps you alive. And so when you have over 1 million stimuli every single second, you feel the chair under you, you feel the clothes on you, you feel the hair on your face, and so your reticular activating system helps you figure out what's important out of that 2 million stimuli.
Wow.
And so what happens is when you speak that client's language, you actually activate their reticular activating system. And essentially you're telling the client, I can help keep you alive. I can keep you safe. Pay attention. And it triggers a different part of the brain than even, that trying to make a decision. It triggers the emotional, fight or flight, like that animalistic part of our brain, because they're going to keep me safe. They've helped somebody like me. I should pay attention. So it really goes back to actual neuroscience on how it works.
Yeah, I love that. So the cool thing about that is even if your company sells hair products, that it still fits the bill for this framework, this line of thinking, that your products make people who don't feel great and look great, right? And so your marketing message is, hey, feel and look great. That as a company, you're helping clients regain confidence in themselves to take on the next job interview or for the next hot date or whatever. That you're a guide and you're helping them see what they could achieve with the path that you're giving them. So you're helping set them up for success, right?
Yeah, and the perfect intro to that, if you're doing a video or something, would be, are you out there struggling with frizzy hair? Do you have a job interview on the horizon and you want to look your best? Great. I can help.
Yeah.
I've helped somebody just like you, for instance, right? And then you go through and you tell that client story. But that is the translation of the hair product to this, ring it out, 1, 2, 3 ripple effect.
Right.
Is saying, are you out there struggling with this specific thing I know you're struggling with, but what you really are needing is this thing that I know you really need? Great, I can help. That's really the essence and the direct language to use in your marketing to really apply what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here.
And again, it goes back to what we talked about at the beginning is developing those relationships, that when you're saying something like that and you're helping other people succeed in life, one, it gives you meaning in what you're doing, and whether that's your business or us as marketers. But two, it's helping other people succeed in developing relationships with those people. When you help them succeed, they want to trust you more and continue that relationship.
And send you referrals.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk a bit about how your message, how you communicate to potential clients. So how do you communicate to potential clients that you have this solution to their problem and can help them overcome it, and achieve success? And we've talked a little bit about this already, but
I think it just goes back to saying. Again, that buyer persona is where I start with any client. It doesn't matter, university or CrossFit gym. I don't care. We're going to go to what's your ideal product or service? Who's the person who's buying it? And what do they actually care about? What are the needs and the challenges, the goals, the objections, the things that are going on that's keeping that person up at night? Is kind of how I usually oversimplify it for a client. It's like, what are your clients struggling with at 2 a.m? They'll be like, oh, well, they're struggling with blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, boom, write it all down. Each of those words, if you put it in their client's verbiage, like what that client would say if they were sitting in front of them, if you can capture those words, those are the exact words you're going to use to begin to relay that messaging across.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the high level that we start off with. And then you begin to start thinking, okay, what channels am I going to communicate that? So in marketing practically, there are a lot of channels that we can communicate that message through, whether it's, Google SEM or, video ads or targeted digital ads or social media ads, billboards, whatever. There are hundreds of places and channels to communicate that message. And so, you kind of have to know who your potential audience is and where they are. Traditionally, the mindset of marketers and business owners was just to put your message out there anywhere and everywhere, right? Just blast it out to the world.
Yes.
And if you have a $2 billion budget, that's great, right?
Yeah.
But for every other business, you've got to get more targeted. You've got to be focused on who your audience is and who's interested in what you can provide.
It's an interesting point, and I'll kind of bring it back to what you're saying, is that it actually shows the transition of marketing.
Yeah.
Just even 10 years ago, that used to be one to many.
Right.
And now is one to one.
Yeah,
right.
that's
so
good.
Targeted marketing, banner ads, digital marketing, Google, SEM, Facebook. This is where you speak as in you.
Yeah.
I know what you need. Are you struggling with? I've helped people just like you. Whereas billboard, traditional media is going to be more of like, are y'all,
Right.
Right. Or, all of y'all, or, people like you, or those people, or, it's very big and broad. Whereas now there's this big shift in marketing to get really intimate with your clients and speak as if they're sitting in front of you.
Right. And we're able to do that because of the technology that we have nowadays, where we can actually track and know who is coming to our site, who is visiting physically our stores, and we can follow them with marketing ads and target them, which is so exciting.
Can we just say, I know it's a little Big Brother. Usually people get freaked out. They're like, wait a minute. They could target the exact people who walked into my competitor's location.
Yeah.
I say, oh yeah, I take pride in aggressively going after your competitor's foot traffic and bringing them to your store. And not only do I go after them, but I can show you how many people came from each competitor and walked into your store. Well, how do you do that? Through tracking the VPN on your phone.
Yeah.
And then they go, wait, so they're tracking me right now? I'm like, they've been doing this. But Fortune 500s were the only one who had access to this, and they had to spend the $2 billion budget.
Right.
Now, for pennies, we're able to make this really affordable for local moms and pops, franchise stores, nonprofits, you name it.
Yeah.
I take great pride in that.
So what are the benefits that you would say, maybe a couple things, of this new way of marketing, where it's one-on-one versus widespread? For the business owner, what are some of those main benefits?
Yeah, the main benefits is you get to be hyper targeted, right?
Yeah.
The example we always go back to is the Skittles. When you put up a billboard, for example, you're hoping. You're throwing it out there in front of the whole bag of Skittles, all colors, and you're hoping that the blue ones or the yellow ones or the red ones or whatever your favorite color is raise their hand and show up at your door, right? And that costs a lot of money to do that. Now what we're saying is you don't have to pay that much money, and if you do, let's go after a bigger group of just that color and then really hit them hard. So as a business owner, this has allowed the average mom and pop to be able to enter into this marketing arena at the scale that these big boys have been going at.
Yes.
You're able to drive results. You're able to see direct ROI of what's working and not working. You're able to make, amplify what's working and cut down what's not working. And you get to be really intimate with your messaging because I just got off the call with an organization right before I walked in here, and he wants to recruit people for scholarships. Now, he wants to recruit donors and recipients. You're going to talk differently to both of those audiences. So you wouldn't just put up a billboard that says to anybody thinking about a scholarship or donating recipients, go to this website. You say now, are you interested in donating? Because they've donated in the past. We can track that. Are you interested in donating to this great cause? Go to this website. Versus, are you an 8th grader thinking about getting into science and tech? Click here. So there's like different options. So as a business owner, it not only allows you to prove ROI, get in the game, compete with the big boys, but have really clear results and clear messaging.
Well, and some other things that come to my mind are you no longer have to guess, okay, who is my audience?
Exactly.
You can actually know, and that saves you time from trying to go out there. And then, too, it also saves you tons of money in the long run. You're not wasting ads on people who don't care at all about what you're going to provide for them or engage with you, right?
And it makes you as a user feel like you're not being spammed.
That's right. That's the one thing that I love, actually, is that now I get ads about things that I actually care about, right? It's not, I'm not getting this random ad on my feed for... I don't know, a mixer or whatever.
Somebody's trying to recruit me to be a pilot. Can I tell you? Okay. I'm not going to be a pilot, folks. I'm just not going to be a pilot.
Stop targeting
YouTube, I'm sorry, you got this one wrong. But that's one example of how I see that. I'm like, what the heck are these people think I'm going to be a pilot for? Whereas if they sent me a course that said, here's how to, up your digital marketing game, I'd be like, boom, I'm on that,
Right. Well, guys, this is just a big overview of all of the things that we're going to be talking about. The first step in knowing how to find your audience is to understand all of the tools available to you as marketers, as business owners. And so throughout this podcast, you'll learn about all the different ways that you can find your exact audience and deliver your message where they are. And so we'll talk about how you can blend all those tactics together to bake this beautiful, perfect marketing cake that you can eat and enjoy. So we're so glad that you've joined us here for this first podcast, and we'll see you again next time.
I guess you could say this is just the icing of the cake.
Oh, That's good. Marketing Impressions is brought to you by M. Roberts Digital. M. Roberts Digital is your local marketing company with global reach. We uniquely and proudly offer every kind of marketing imaginable for our clients' campaigns. Quite simply, we make you successful. By hitting our goals month after month, M. Roberts Digital has continued to grow year after year and achieve unprecedented success. You can learn more and start your own marketing campaign at mrobertsdigital.com.